Hi,
Hello, sir. How are you tonight?
I am fine.
Good?
How are you today?
Good. How have you been for the last week? We haven't spoken.
Yeah, we have spoken last week.
No, we haven't spoken for a week.
Yeah, exactly.
A little
Uh,
more than
I
one day.
last week I didn't make any lesson because I was very busy with my exams.
I didn't do any lessons.
Yeah,
I was very busy.
I was
Busy. No, yeah,
okay. I understood. I was very busy.
that's it.
I didn't do any exams.
Any lessons? Oh, I didn't do any exams. I didn't do any lessons. Okay. So you had exams last week.
Yeah. Also, still continuing. They are
You,
continuing.
so you have more exams this week.
Yeah.
Okay. What are your exams in?
Uh, lessons name. You ask lessons name?
Yeah, is it
Hydraulic and pneumatic, renewable sources, uh, uh, also uh,
renewable renewable energy sources?
yeah, renewable energy sources. Also, drawing program which name is Creo. You know,
What is it?
Pro engineer Creo. Creo.
Creo,
Yeah.
like this?
Uh, only only this.
Creo,
Huh?
believe.
Other name is Pro Engineer.
Creo, I don't know. I'm going to find.
Pro Engineer. Other name.
3D, 3D, CAD software.
Sorry, 3D.
CAD, AutoCAD.
Yeah, CAD. Yeah.
Okay, computer design, computer
Mhm.
aided. hmm Yeah, when I was doing design, my AutoCAD was
With rules. Uh,
my computer was called a drafting table.
I know. I understood. With
Pardon?
with hand drawing.
All hand drawn, yeah, all hand laid out.
And when I started to my university, uh, we we learned drawing with AutoCAD uh, uh, without hand drawing, and I said myself, I need to learn its origin, and I went a hand draw course,
Yeah.
and
And do you use it? No.
no, but I can imagine better.
Yeah. It's one of the main reasons I started my own business. I worked 7 months in a design office for buildings,
Hmm.
and I no, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it.
You
There was
couldn't
no
with computer you couldn't do it.
there was no computer. Like
Ah,
so
okay.
computers came later. They came in like the late 80s. I'm not sure when AutoCAD was introduced, but I was AutoCAD started. Um, when was AutoCAD invented? Yeah, 1986
Oh,
was the
86.
first. Yeah, that was the first time they did a release in 1986.
4 years ago before I birth my birth.
Oh, shut up. Shut up. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Goodbye. Yeah, no, it was AutoCAD. It was, I mean, when AutoCAD was introduced, I probably saw it about 2 years after probably around 89. And
Mm.
I was very interested in it, but you needed to go on a long course to know how to use it. I mean, you went on like 2 month
I
course.
can't I I can't imagine the computer, and I can't imagine
No,
bigger bigger.
yeah,
I can't imagine bigger drawing with computer in that time.
yeah, it was all based on DOS, and there was
Yeah,
no Windows, no operating systems at all. And
yeah.
I
I
mean,
can't imagine how could they.
I don't know because I never went, so I never studied it. I
Hmm.
played with it, but that's all. And then I probably could have learned it, but thank goodness I didn't, because it probably would have, anything you learn was changing very fast in the 1990s. So
Hmm.
you could learn something one year and then everything is new the following year. And it was really, really
Uh,
hard to keep.
why changing fast? Uh,
Well, software, I mean, Windows was changing. Windows was introduced
hmm.
in 1991 or 1992.
Mm-hmm.
Windows 95 and then Windows XT and then Windows NT and then Windows 2000 and then,
Mm-hmm.
kept growing and growing. And then the AutoCAD was developing quickly as the demands were being put uh, on the developers to add more and more features.
Mm-hmm.
Every year, you had to basically have a refresher course
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
relearn some of the things that they had added. So, yeah, Autodesk, I remember and it was expensive. It wasn't really expensive. It was expensive to buy it, but
Mm-hmm.
you couldn't just sit down and use it. You just couldn't. You needed to be trained on it.
Maybe if you work in a company, you can use.
You couldn't just put the AutoCAD on the computer and use it. Plus, you needed the big plotters and all that. And you couldn't really just put it on a computer and start using it. You had to go on a course, which would take a month or 2 months to learn how to use
Uh-huh.
it. And then the next year, it would change. So you had to go for a refresher course to
Yeah.
learn how to use
It
it again.
it
So
was it was it could be very hard because people were learning to how to use a computer. Engineers had to learn how to use AutoCAD.
yeah, and it's not like today where you grew up with computers and you knew how to use a computer. We didn't know how to use computers. Forget AutoCAD. We didn't.
Yeah.
How do you turn this thing on? So it was a interesting time, but it was a sometimes frustrating time,
Mm-hmm.
and things changed a lot. I remember when I was on Windows and Windows XT, and they wanted to change. My computer guy said, "You need to change your operating systems in the office," and I said, "No." He said, "Why?" I said, "Everything works great." He said, "Yeah, but Joe, a lot of the new programs that are coming out, they're not going to work on XT." I don't care. I,
Yeah.
I'm not changing this again. Okay. And then all of a sudden, like, there was no support. The new programs that say, oh, we should get that for contacts or sales contacts or something, doesn't work on XT. It's like, oh, okay, change it. So even
As
Windows,
a company, you need to escape the technology.
yeah, well, I realized around 1995 that technology was going to be the future. I don't think I realized that it was going to be the future. I realized that I had to be a part of it. So
Yeah.
rather than trying to by that time I was 35 years old. I had a business. I had ways of doing my things. We had a Rolodex, for contacts.
Really, really like that.
Yeah, and we had file cabinets full of papers that we could go look in to find an old invoice, and we had I don't know, everything was done by paper and printing and that kind of thing. So then, and I even remember trying to write letters before Windows. In my office, we did have a computer, but it was DOS-based computer. And you had to know the commands. You write the letter, you had to tell the computer, end of line, move down.
Some companies using like that program only for messaging because of security.
Oh, they're back to using DOS.
No, it is a very basic program, but you can use this only messaging.
Right. Okay. Well, yeah. So, you had to understand the DOS commands. You had to know all the DOS commands in order to put in. So to write a letter on your computer, you would have to print it on a dot matrix printer, like maybe 6 times to get it right. You do it and you go, oh, I forgot this. Got to put that in. Oh, I forgot that. Oh, I didn't. It's like always.
Also, you were you writing comments?
Comments? What do you mean?
For example,
we would make a proposal to a company, right? So we would, instead of doing it on the typewriter, we would try to do it on the computer. And that really, the typewriter was easier because nobody really knew all of the DOS commands on the computer, and that. But it changed. I had my first website was 1995.
1995. When I was,
I had a company website in 1995, and you ever hear of the messaging ICQ?
ICQ, yeah. I know that program. I meet with computer when I was 1998.
Okay, yeah.
In primary school.
Yeah, like for example, when I bought the factory in Poland in 1998, the year you were born, I know. No, you were born in 1990. You were 8 years old. Yeah. I bought the company in Poland, and I transferred all of the drawings, engineering designs, all of that. I transferred it all from Poland to Canada.
Background.
Right. And I had the engineers in Poland doing some modifications and changes. And I would do it, and they would transfer it through ICQ.
With ICQ.
Yeah, we would do file transfers through ICQ. But the problem was, like, they were transferring a file, I would accept and go home and come back in the morning. It would be finished.
Just downloading.
Yeah, and it would be like 3 pages. It would take.
Because of network speed, right?
Yeah, but it was still more convenient than going there and doing all of those things. So, yeah,
I don't remember pushing number when trying to connect the network. Like phone buttons, right?
Yeah, you had to dial a number.
Yeah, dial numbers. Yeah.
Right. And then you had to put in a code, I think. And then you took your phone and you had a cradle. You sit the phone, and it's the modem. And the modem, they would hear a noise like and then the phone would listen and you would connect to the internet. And then around 1995, 94, you got DSL lines. Well, actually, it wasn't DSL. It was just phone lines. DSL was considered very expensive, very incredible. So then, but now DSL is, very low end. But now it's all 4G and 5G. But at that time, you just connected to the phone, but you still had to dial in from your computer then, not from the phone anymore.